Hi there, Oz Konar here. I'm the founder of Business Lending Blueprint. We help people start their own recession-proof business in the lending industry without any certification or licenses and build a 6 to 7 figure business working from home. So today's video, I'm going to talk about a topic that for some reason no one seems to be talking about, which is an opportunity that is expiring fast, but which will make people entitled to hundreds of thousands of dollars, especially if you're a business owner. And if you're not a business owner, it gives you an opportunity to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the opportunity here is how to claim and how to make money through tax credit from the government. So stay tuned. All right, what I'm talking about here is not a grant, it's not a loan. It is a refundable tax credit provided to businesses. And it seems like the government doesn't really want you to know about this because the bill is passed and there's very little resources online and even on the government sites explaining how that works. And many businesses that I see are in disbelief whether this is real or not. So I wanted to come out and talk about this opportunity on how a business who've been through the pandemic and were able to retain their employees can claim tax credit upwards of $27,000 per employee. So there are millions of businesses in the United States who would qualify for that because most businesses have gone through some horrendous times through the pandemic period. Even if they experience 20% or more losses, revenue losses, but were able to retain their employees, they would be a candidate for this tax credit. But even if you're not a business owner, so I'm gonna talk to you about ways for you to monetize off of this. So just a disclaimer, I'm not an accountant, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not giving legal or accounting advice here. This is just my opinion and hundreds of success stories that we have in our community of people taking advantage of options like this to help other businesses. But I've been in this industry for over a decade. This is the hottest option for people to help other businesses and increase the awareness of this tax credit so they can make a lot of money, but also for businesses to take advantage of this opportunity, because honestly, the people who are receiving the tax credit, some of them receive money in hundreds of thousands of dollars. The problem is this is an expiring opportunity. So you can't just come back and keep applying for this over the long term. So the tax credit will be gone soon. So for that reason, I thought it's my obligation to bring this to surface and talk about this. So what exactly are we talking about? We're talking about what's called an ERC tax credit, which is employee retention credit passed by the CARES Act. And that's providing tax credit to businesses who've been around 2020 and 2021, and they retain at least some key employees and they experience reduction in revenue, which is most of the businesses out there. There are a lot of businesses with 50 employees, 100 employees who would qualify for hundreds of thousands of dollars only if they knew that this was out there. Now, the number one question that came to my mind when I heard about this opportunity, I was like, all right, this is cool, but all these businesses with 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 employees, they usually have accountants. They work with accounting firms. I would think that their accountant would let them know of this massive limited time opportunity. That's not really the case for a couple of reasons. One, accountants do not fully understand how this works yet. Again, I'm not talking about everybody, most accounting firms, so they're kind of behind, they're trying to catch up, they're trying to finish the tax season. They don't proactively reach out their customers to let them know about this. That's number one. Number two, the process to get this money from the government is quite complicated. So a lot of the accounting firms choose not to get involved with that. They just want to do the taxes, be done with this. And reason number three is accountants are still trying to understand how to implement this to their clients. So they might, these accountants might go back to their clients, take advantage of this a year from now. But again, we're dealing with a limited time opportunity with limited resources the government provides. So sooner you do this, better it is. Those are the reasons that, a lot of the companies do not even hear about this from the professionals that they trust, the accountants. That's why we wanted to talk about this today. If you're watching this video, or if you do know people who own businesses, because on average, we all know about 300 people, some closely, some not, but a lot of them happen to be entrepreneurs, and a lot of them will have, they had to survive through the pandemic, and some of them have employees. And even if you don't know anyone, I'm sure you shop at, shops, you go to restaurants, especially restaurants are a huge target for this. They can take advantage of that money. It allows them to get back on their feet because they suffered dearly through this process, through the pandemic, right? So let's talk about how that works. So you work with a professional accounting firm. Usually they have the lawyers. There are like a lot of ERC companies out there. What happens is you hire them, you hire their services. Most of them do not have any upfront costs. You give them your business documentation, such as your tax returns, your employee W-2s, and they analyze your numbers and they tell you the likelihood of you receiving this, which is going to be most businesses with employees, right? So because there are a couple of simple rules, this applies to certain quarters on 2020 and 2021. Per employee, you can get up to $27,000. If you did have 20 employees, if you're dealing with a 20 employee company, that's like $500,000 right there. These ERC companies, they take care of the accounting and the legal part of what needs to be done. And then once they tell you, hey, you're entitled to receive $500,000 for doing the work, they take a percentage of the funds, the credit that you'll receive, and they put it in the works. Then you just wait for IRS to send you your credit. Once the credit is received, this ERC company takes a percentage of the total credit received. They do all the heavy lifting. Honestly, a lot of the accounting firms that you work with, you deal with, even they're outsourcing the ERC stuff to ERC companies because they usually operate on a very limited bandwidth. They cannot take on ERC, right? So it's best to serve their customers by referring them out to an ERC company. So that's super important to know. If you do have businesses who have employees and you notice them, they're still around, they survive, this could be a good idea for you to talk about this to them. That's one way for businesses to receive funding off of this. The second way, which is probably the most of the audience watching this, how do you turn this into a business opportunity for yourself? Very simple. This is the simplest product to talk about because you're not selling anything. You're increasing the awareness on a credit option that the government is freely offering that's suitable for most businesses out there. You're not really selling anything. So in our community, we recently introduced an ERC company. And I mean, there were hundreds and hundreds of applications being submitted to submit leads, because all you have to do is talk to the business owner and make them aware of this, tax credit, and they will be interested because, well, I mean, they don't need to buy anything. It's not going to cost them anything. And our brokers are sending it off to our specialized ERC team, and they're monetizing off of that. So each client could mean tens of thousands of dollars. And that's one of the easiest ways to generate revenue through this limited time opportunity. And the time it's about 2 years left, but the government might extend the time. We don't really know. That depends on what they decide to do. But as a business loan broker, that's why I talk a great deal about getting involved in the best industry to get involved with in this day and age, which is helping people get access to capital. That doesn't always need to be, as startup funds or existing business funds, working capital, real estate funds, and merchant cash advance. We have all of that. But I wanted to come out and just urge you to take a look into this, because maybe you're looking into crypto, maybe you're looking into e-commerce, maybe you're looking into other options. None of them will be as simple as letting people know of a tax credit that they're already entitled to in most cases, they just do not know about. So that's what the ERC program is about. It's better than the grants, the loans, and anything else the government can provide. But it is our duty to make sure that our neighbors, our friends, our business owners know about this. There's a link below this video where you can find out more about how you can apply if you're a business owner that you think you qualify, and do not disqualify yourself. I've seen pretty interesting cases that I would think that they're disqualified, but the accountants And the lawyers, they look at the case and they notice that you might be disqualified. So if you're a business owner, you'll find information below this video where you can apply to claim your tax credit. If you want to get into this business and helping people receive their tax credit, there's information on that one too. Then I ask you to go through it, learn how to become a business loan broker, and learn our way of doing things as business lending blueprint. We help hundreds of people reach massive levels of success. Obviously, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This will involve you to work hard because nothing is free. Nothing is work-free. You got to invest into yourself. You got to invest into what you want to accomplish. But hey, you're spending time, you're spending resources anyways, doing what you're doing right now. You got to, as Warren Buffett says, it is more important that you're on the right boat than how fast you're rowing, right? So you might be the right person on the wrong boat, rowing the opposite direction, versus you might be the right person in the right boat, not even really rowing, but you're just going the right direction and you're not going against the grain. Situations help you. It is so important. Many people just think that they need to work harder. Well, working hard is really good, but it's not about working hard. What are you working hard on? If you're working hard on something that's very hard to accomplish anyways, you have to double your effort, versus if you're working hard on something that's in demand, such as products like this, then it doesn't really feel like you're working hard. You are maximizing your outcome and minimizing your effort. So if that makes sense to you, read the description below this video. If you do like content like this, please like this video and subscribe so I can bring more content like this to you. And we increase the awareness of these lending options to small to mid-sized businesses, because they're usually the least informed ones, because they're just busy running their business. They don't have advisors. They don't have people. We're just bringing them updated information. So just please help me spread this information. Click the like button below and subscribe to our channel. And if you do check out our content, I'll see you on the next videos. Take care now.